Good morning, everybody. Let's see where we are at. Happy Thursday. All right. Good morning, Shavat. Hey, Jams. I am good, guys. I am good. Morning, Phil. Hey, Vissy, Freaks, Charco. What's up, guys? So, I'm getting YouTube, but not Twitch yet for some reason. Come on, Twitch. Hey, Dave. There we go. Humanoid. Alfredo. Neil. Yeah, so last week I had said I was going to stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then, of course, I didn't stream on Thursday last week and not Tuesday again, so I'm sorry for that. But, yeah, I'm here today, so let's see. Where did the hair go? Yeah, I actually cut my hair. Actually, my wife cut my hair. Hey, Fantasy. Hi, Shannon. Rasputin. Gonna be a good day. Hey, Cheese. Neo. Hey, Wade. Head off, let's see it. I don't feel the need to show off my hair, guys. Sorry. Or rather, my lack of hair. Anyways, so today, I do want to put out a release here soon, even if we don't get the 3D engine in for this release like I wanted to. I think we still need to put out a release. Biggest reason why is because when I changed the games database over to use HTTPS, I didn't realize it, but apparently when you make a post request, it doesn't redirect properly to HTTPS from HTTP. And so if you're a web developer, you might know what that means. But anyways, ultimately that broke the login functionality when you're directly in LaunchBox, so that you would be able to log in and sync your collection up to the cloud. So for that reason, I need to put out a new version of LaunchBox to use HTTPS. And then also we've got all these improvements in LaunchBox that really need to go out into the official release. And actually, why don't I pull up the changelog, because it's pretty extensive. There are some new features as well. Of course, we have the new wall view, which I am still not really happy with. So I do want to try and do something with that before the official release. And attract mode on demand, all the new attract mode stuff. We got a new launch with option in LaunchBox. We've got change ROM's folder path for selected games, and then a bunch of different improvements. So yeah. Hey, Quad. Port to Android, unfortunately, that's just not going to happen anytime soon. I did do a poll on that, and the response from the poll just was not significant enough to justify it, really. Hey, Sid. Scott. Do you think there will be another giveaway? I need to look. I like to do around 4 giveaways a year. So I need to check to see how long it's been. You know, if it's been 3 months, then we'll probably do another one. So anyways, guys, one thing I just thought about is I didn't add anything about the now, the other thing that I should talk about, we upgraded to .NET 4.7, which was actually brand new at the time. I did that early because I wanted to take advantage of some of the performance benefits of .NET 4.7. However, I've had a handful. This is just still on the betas, and I've had probably over time around 10 different people report significant issues, stability issues related to the .NET Framework 4.7. Now it makes sense that there would be some of those issues because it just came out, but it does feel like a little bit like Microsoft rushed some of that stuff out. So I did, in the latest beta, downgrade back to .NET 4.6.2. I'm still waiting to see how that goes, but the last thing I want is to put out an official release and have 100, 200 people run into issues and not be able to use it properly because of some sort of .NET bug or .NET stability issue. So I just don't want to. I think it's too early, basically, and so I think we will obviously end up upgrading, but for now, I want to stick with .NET 4.6.2. But I'd be interested to hear if you guys are noticing any performance decreases downgrading back to .NET 4.6.2. The latest beta that I just put out, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, something like that. I think it was just yesterday, actually. I downgraded to .NET 4.6.2. So let me know how it feels performance-wise compared to the previous betas. I do need to take this out, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Wood's still around. We just haven't made any news vids recently. Frank B1. Hey, Frank. Where's your note on the change to attract mode and button to start and stop? This is new big box key and controller button mappings have been added for starting attract mode on demand and spinning the wheel while a key button is pressed. Still stuck on 4.0. What do you mean by that? Oh, that's great. I didn't know that, Nicholas. I haven't talked to Wood in quite a while. And the truth is, you know, I haven't asked him for a vid in a long time. But I need to talk to him, apparently. As far as I'm concerned, he's definitely still with us. It's just we haven't had a whole lot of news to share. And like I've said in previous live streams, we have ramped down the marketing some because it's been obvious that it hasn't been significantly helping us. However, especially when we come up with a new release, I want to do a new news video. But depending on how things go with Wood, I need to talk to Wood. I definitely want Wood still on the team because, you know, he's a lot better doing news than I am. Obviously, a million times better. So, anyways, but whatever, we'll manage it either way. Hopefully, I can. Hopefully, he'll still be willing to do videos for us. Hey Avery, what's this about? Well, we're going to do some development on LaunchBox and Big Box here. Will the CMU emulator ever come? Yoshi, the CMU emulator works fine with LaunchBox and Big Box, so I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. It's not in the default list, but you can add it manually without any issues. Thank you, Shannon. Good to know. No problem, performance or otherwise, with either .NET version. Good. Hey, Slash Guns. Hey, Gore. Morning, Pac-Man. All right. Well, let's pray before we get started. And then we'll dive into some of the stuff that I need to prep and get fixed and all that kind of stuff. All right. Lord, thank you for another opportunity to stream and another opportunity to be with the community and enjoy each other and just be productive together. I pray that you would help us all to just be productive in our conversations with each other. Help me to focus and to get the things I need to get done, to be able to fix the complicated bugs that are popping up with the beta release, and just help us to have a good stream. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Thank you, Buckets. Awesome. Okay, so we got a few key issues here that need solved. One is, per the forums, supposedly it's not always searching alternate names like it's supposed to with the new alternate name stuff changes that I've added. And then this one I'm worried about. Frankly, guys, I'm kind of worried about this. I've only had one person report this, okay? So this apparently is only affecting one person that has actually reported it. So I'm very curious to know if anybody has seen any issues with VLC video playback in the latest release. Ultimately, I haven't made any changes to VLC anything, but there are some threading things that I have changed that could possibly, a lot of the performance increases could have affected the video playback. And I've got one guy on the forums who says if he downgrades, the video issues go away. If he goes to 7.10, he doesn't have any video issues, but in the 7.11 betas, he's got all kinds of video playback issues where the videos won't play for, I mean, they'll start playing and then they'll just stop playing and crap like that. So you guys know the history of debugging the video playback, and it was a freaking nightmare. So I'm a little worried about that one. I hope it's either a fluke on his end or we can find some kind of an easy fix. So anyways, I don't know what is going on there. I have not been able to reproduce any issues with video playback myself. On all my machines, the videos play perfectly fine. So I don't know what's going on with that. So any feedback you guys got on the videos, if everything is working great for you in the latest betas, especially the beta that just came out yesterday, please let me know. If you haven't tested it, then that's fine. If you have problems, let me know. I need to know. So let's go catch up on comments here. Hey, Monster. Extreme Extreme Awesome Amazing. That's awesome. I like that name. Nicholas, we need you to make suggestions on tutorials. So let us know what hasn't been covered. Did you rate a feed bar option when you save on the cloud? I feel like I should know what that means, but I have no clue what that means. Thanks, Yoshi. Oh, a progress bar. Okay. When saving on the cloud. No, I didn't change that. I didn't change any of that. I know that's a finicky thing right now. Mystic Ninja. You know, I tend to think, well, God knows everything, so you know, of course, He knows exactly what I'm talking about all the time. He knows way more than I do, and he's up there. You know, he's probably up in heaven going, "It's right there. What's the problem with you? Figure it out." You know, that kind of. No, he's not like that. But anyways, it's an interesting perspective, though. No issues with VLC playback on the latest beta. Thank you, Vissy. No VLC problems with the latest beta. Sure. I know it does matter when we go down to lower hardware, and I tested on quite a bit of lower hardware, but I don't know. Main merged ROM. Yeah, I know there's some minor issues there, Dave. Hey, Dark Pix. Great, Charco. Thank you. Well pronounced. Random video artifacts in Big Box using VLC. Sure, the video artifacts happen. Unfortunately, with VLC, there's absolutely nothing we can do about that. It happens when your hard drive or your disk, whatever you're running off of, can't keep up with playing the video quick enough, and VLC shows the artifacts. That's just the VLC engine. It does the same thing in VLC, the actual application. So literally, there's nothing we can do about that. It just means your video files are having problems being read quick enough to play. Thank you, Shannon. Vermont. Was wondering if it would be possible to get the same options when I choose Rocket Launcher as my default emulator instead of MAME, like disabling clones, non-working, etc. Yes, all you have to do is check the box to force MAME imports in the wizard. There's a box for that in the advanced settings for the wizard. Thank you, Adam. Welcome. All right, so let's do this. The video stuff, I don't know. I guess what I need to do is test on some low-end systems. I can't really do that on the stream because obviously I've only got one computer here with me on the stream. But it's at least, I mean, it gives me hope hearing that it's working well for the vast majority of people. But oh, internal 3 terabyte no artifacts, external 8 terabyte USB 3.0 random video artifacts. Yeah, that only makes sense, Neo. What's happening is that your external hard drive is, or the USB connection is just not able to keep up. There's too much going on. So you can try using the Windows Media Player video playback engine instead. Is there a way to make custom menu in Big Box? Main menu is arcade, console, handheld, config. Yes, you just do custom platform categories. We have the same beta testing thread, Dave. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Vermont, too. All right. So there's a couple key issues here that should in theory be relatively easy to fix. Supposedly in the latest betas, it won't search if the platform is empty. That's a bug that I didn't realize I introduced, but somebody found that on the forums. So I will take a look at that. And no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do a rebuild. Apparently I haven't built since a release yesterday. Hey, Double O. 10 terabyte on sale at Newegg. Really? Hi, Shinra. I'm sorry that you're blocked, man. We've had, you know, we had a lot of troll issues. I added some extensive tools to help block them. I don't know why you're blocked. I'm sorry about that. It's aggressive, but it seems to be helping. So I'm probably not going to go change it. All right, so we're built. No, I don't want to run big box. Crap. Let's go ahead and stop this. I want to run LaunchBox, not big box. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add a new game. And we're going to call it something. I'm just going to try and search for Doom for right now. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, see, so apparently I broke this because it doesn't find any games if you don't populate your platform. So if I populate MS-DOS, it'll find them, but for some reason my search is now broken for... and this is since I added alternate titles. That has to be what did it. So let's figure out what's going on there. I think we'll do this again. What am I doing? Doom. Put in a breakpoint. Well. Put a breakpoint in there and follow it through. Okay. Run worker async. So I need background worker. Do work. Okay, so this is the local DB, that's search method. So apparently this one broke somehow. This platform is empty, so it's going to be calling this one. Platform is null. Oh. Or not include other platforms. Okay. Yeah, so this is checking to make sure when we're looking for a particular platform. So the issue is it shouldn't. This basically needs to be an and instead of an or. I think that's it. Results.toCombine.count. If it found any results and we're not supposed to include other platforms, yeah, I think that'll do it. Well, easy fix in theory. The only question there. All right, so we're going to feed in Doom. Let's get rid of that breakpoint. It's still not working. Why not? Oh, wait. Well, include other platforms is still false. All right, so here's what we need, I think. Let's see. And not string.is null or empty platform. I think that will do it. Because if platform is empty, then none of this stuff is going to do anything. So we have to come down to here. I had restructured this method to make it more performant, I believe, and I must have just messed up that logic somehow or other. All right, add Doom. What now? Fine. Wait a minute. Did it not build properly? What the heck? Rebuild. Let's try this again. There it is. Look at that. We got a lot of games for various platforms. Now, if I go to MS-DOS and search, we only get Doom for MS-DOS, which is correct. What about a platform that does not have Doom? Then we get all the other platforms. That's good. Works for me. I think we're okay now on that. We should be good. So that's fixed. Let me catch up on comments here. Blades. I'm trying to finish up this release for right now, although, you know, suggestions are always welcome, but I'm not going to be probably working on anything suggested in this exact stream. Alfredo. Agree with Nate. I'm not following. What did Nate say? It must be a ways back. Hey, Neil. Nicholas, been getting this out of bounds issue with the add images to database plugin. Made a post on the forum with no help. Got a lot to add to the database. That plugin was not developed by me, though. So I'm not going to really be able to help with that, unfortunately. We'll need to talk to the plugin developer, and I think I remember who makes that plugin, but I'm drawing a blank like an idiot. I know who it is. I just don't remember his forum's name. So anyways, sorry about that. Losing my mind. What features are lined up for next release? You can check up the change log on the website. We went through that earlier in the stream 00, so I'm not going to pull that up again. But it's all on the website and in the app in the betas. You can pull it up on the website is the easiest way to do it if you don't have the beta release. We're doomed. Pinball, I'm not sure if Pinball is there right now. Hey Phobos. Hey Neil. DPI scaling, unfortunately we're not going to be tackling that today. Per game XAML. Nice. Wow. That's awesome. Wheel pop in. That's the first I'm hearing about an issue with that. Is it? I know that it can be an issue while things are caching, but it shouldn't really be an issue after things are cached in theory. Unfortunately, I don't, Nicholas. Out of bounds could mean a million things, so unfortunately that's not enough information for me to have any idea what's going on without looking at the code and all that stuff. Pinball is supported. Obviously, Pinball works fine with LaunchBox and BigBox. It's just not. It's not really in the database right now. I don't think. Joe, it's something that I've tried to tackle before, and I'll come back to, but it's not an easy solution, especially since we have all these existing themes out there. And actually, we do already have a solution in there. The problem is that not all the themes use the same stuff. So that's the biggest issue. So I don't know when I'm going to get back to it, to be honest. It might not be quick. Sometimes you can outpace the image loading on your wheel with page up and page down. That makes sense. I can understand that. I don't know if there's a lot we can do about that. I don't know. Maybe. There's always more room for optimizations. Basically, loading those images have been moved to be in a separate thread so that it doesn't hurt the performance and animations going on all over the place elsewhere. So it makes sense that they might be a little bit slower to load than they were before. But of course, if we boost the priority of that stuff, then it's going to more affect the UI, and it's not going to be as smooth of an experience. Radical Dude, that is a pain point right now, and I'm aware of it. We need to come up with a way to do that. The easiest way to do it right now is to import the EXEs and act as if, and set it up with an emulator and act as if it's going to be emulated, and then you can batch edit and just remove the emulator and make it not emulated. Not a good solution, really, but it works just fine. It's just kind of confusing. I had to make a transition to hide. It always takes 1.5 seconds for the wheel to show while other graphics on screen already show. Interesting. Yeah, it is a thing. I mean, well, let's take a look. I mean, obviously on my machine, it's not necessarily going to have the same issues. I have a pretty fast machine, but let's see. Let's try Genesis. I'm not sure what view I have on these. Yeah, so it's quick to load for me, although I don't know, is your image cache pre-populated? That might help significantly. So yeah, I'm not seeing any real loading issues there, but although it might be slower than it was before. Anyways. Shannon, actually the ROM allocation stuff, believe it or not, does not affect Big Box. And I know that's been an area of confusion in the past, but in the LaunchBox options, when you adjust the RAM slider, that actually has no effect on Big Box at all. It's only LaunchBox. Maybe I should put that in the dialogue, because that's a common area of confusion. Yeah, I agree, Neil. Unfortunately, though, you're right. I mean, it requires other processing to make that happen, so it would kind of get in the way of the performance. Like I said, RAM allocation doesn't matter for Big Box. Yeah. What does matter, if you're having, I mean, any kind of performance issues in Big Box are going to be significantly helped if you go and pre-populate all your images. And I think everybody should know that by now, or know how to do that. But I'll go ahead and show that off here for a second. I added this just a couple versions ago, or one version ago even, I'm not sure. You go into options and image cache. You have force populate all game wheel images and force populate all cover flow images. If you run those, it probably won't take overnight, but it might take an hour or two. Depending on the size of your collection, it could take overnight. But set it and leave, and it will force populate every single image to make sure that it's optimized, so it doesn't have to generate any images on the fly. So if you didn't know about that, that's worth doing, and that will significantly help with performance. But changing the selected platform. LaunchBox. Sure. Outside a big box. That makes sense. It has nothing to do with LaunchBox, though. It's worth noting. That's a big box only thing. LaunchBox doesn't use the exact same cache. Actually, that's not quite true. It does, but it only uses a small portion of it. They do use the same things. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, Nicholas, I do have that planned. It's just a matter of getting that done. Absolutely. I would love to add Retro Humanoids videos, and I do plan on doing that. Yes, they are amazing. Absolutely. Okay. So we got one thing done. Won't scrape if platform is empty. Supposedly not searching alternate names. This is going to be a little bit more tricky to figure out. Update VLC. Basically, there's a new version of VLC available, and we should update to it. Supposedly there's a security issue with the subtitles, and since we don't use subtitles, I don't see that as really a problem, but we should probably update to the latest version of VLC. That makes me nervous, though, every single time I update to the latest version of VLC, because several times in the past we've updated to a new version of VLC and it broke things because there were bugs in VLC. So that scares me a little every single time we do that. Anyways. Exo's working on that, Nicholas. I'm not sure where we're at exactly on that. But anyways. You can always Alt-Tab out of Big Box. Well, yeah, but the taskbar does disappear, but you can turn that off in the settings as well. So just turn off the setting to disable the taskbar and do it that way. All right. Searching alternate names. I had an example here on the forums. All right, so for example, these files. Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Blue. Do these even exist on the games database, first off? So let's go confirm that. What is this? I have no idea what that is. Is that Chrome doing that? It must be. Alright, so it found this. Okay. Huh. So first off, finds it that way, which is good. But he's saying on imports it doesn't. So let's give that a shot. We're going to make 2 files with these names and import them and see what happens. On my desktop here, all right, now I'm going to create a new instance of LaunchBox because I don't want to mess with my real collection here. So I'm going to grab this stuff. Don't mind these extra DLLs. They're part of the 3D engine stuff that we're playing with or working on. They won't be there in the final version. And they're actually not used by this version right now anyways. So I'm going to copy that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put it all right. Got to close out a LaunchBox before that's going to work. All right. And I'm going to drag these 2 games These are ROM files for Nintendo Game Boy. I have no idea what this means. I assume it's Chrome. I've never seen that before in my life. We need an emulator, so whatever, it doesn't matter. Just go grab a random emulator for now. Yes, we'll download everything. Probably won't find it though, supposedly. Okay, so this is what it's going to be searching for. These 2 values, because it removes the D automatically. So this should work in theory. It's got to download the updated metadata file from the database. And yeah, it obviously it doesn't find it. But it does if we manually search. So something in the imports is not using the alternate titles properly. So we're going to have to walk through that process. Go ahead and delete these games. Do it again. Game Boy. And before I hit finish, I'm going to attach to the process so we can debug it. And the working control is what I need here. This is the ROM import. Background worker. This is where it refreshes the local metadata. Go through the operations. This get game method is likely where we need to be. So I'm going to put a breakpoint on that. Go ahead and hit finish. Here we are in the get game method. Yeah, so this is the yellow edition one there. This is just checks to see if it's MAME. It's not. Okay, what's going on here? Check to see if we have any combined ROM file names, which we don't, which makes sense. We set the application path on the game to that file. We set the game's title. That's correct. If ROM operation not equal null and ROM task not equal null and not use ROM metadata, we're going to try and get the version from the file name. And the version ends up being D, which makes sense. Are we even... Okay, so we get all the way down here is where we search the local the database. So it's going to be a while before we get there. Let's just go ahead and get down there. Okay. We're going to search that title for the valid platform. Which should be doing it. Before I step into it, let's looks like it's looking at alternates. All right, well, let's go ahead and step into it. We have the platform. Getting the valid platform name, which is the same in this case. So we're going through you know what though, I think the issue might be that it's not doing rough matching. And the reason for that is for performance reasons. There's just too much to do. So it's searching for the exact, well, we're using local DB that is match, which should in theory do it. Because it does do some rough matching here. But it's searching through the alternate titles. Then it's grabbing all the alternate titles on that particular game and applying them, and so obviously it's going to get down here and not find anything. Wait a minute. It did find a result. Well, look at that. It found it. So what's the problem here? It actually found it. Interesting. Okay. That was not what I expected. We come back here and we have a result. But we're okay. Then we have interesting. But we ignore the result because it's not close enough for our rough matching, perhaps. That makes some sense. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. So we skip it. Ultimately. Okay. Well, that makes some sense. So right now what we're doing at this stage in the process is we're checking to make sure that the result matches close enough that it's worth using. This step helps avoid false matches. But the problem is when we're dealing with an alternate title, it's just simply not going to match at all. So what are we going to do here? I'm not sure. We don't want to tweak this too heavily and affect matching so that it breaks, so that we get a bunch of false positives. So I don't know. I'm not sure. We only have one result. All right, well, let me catch up on comments here. The default platforms have been consolidated and stuff. Yes, I don't remember exactly what's been consolidated, Nicholas, because it was quite a while ago. But yes, they have changed. Yeah, the arcade platform. There's no main platform, but the arcade platform does include Daphne. Chrome notification. Sure. No idea what that means. I've never seen that before. Kind of weird. Oh, I just need to restart Chrome. Search for the game without the period? And don't follow that exactly, Nicholas. Yeah, the alternate title stuff, this is clearly an issue for the imports or the metadata updates for alternate titles, because it's just not going to, at this point, it finds them, but it doesn't work to match them up. Hey, Alfredo, the best place would be Bitbucket for feature requests. However, if you're looking for a discussion, obviously you can have the discussion on the forums. But if you just want to put in a feature request, then Bitbucket is the place of choice. Hey, Rookie. Hey, Camel. Nimi, yeah, that does make sense in theory, but that's assuming all the data is correct across the board, so that's probably not the best idea. Yeah, using pairs, you're right. I need something like that, Neilk. Hey, Andre. Okay. Thank you, Quan. Sup, Doss? Hey, Stiflus. Please do, Ghost. Enjoy. Yeah, we already do purge out lots of characters, I think including the period, Ryan, when doing the string compare. That's crucial. I don't know. So this whole get title for comparing method that we're looking at right now does exactly that. We replace a bunch of everything between brackets and curly braces and parentheses. We handle the replacement of the and all this stuff, and every single one of these characters gets replaced out, including the period. So, yeah. The alternate titles, Camel, are listed out in the database. We're just trying to use the data. No worries, Ghost. Yeah, we haven't, like I said in the last stream, we haven't put out any significant news videos. We haven't done quite as much marketing because my observation, our observation for the last couple of months is that it wasn't making a lot of difference, to be honest with you guys. We have enough organic traffic at this point that the marketing level just isn't that crucial anymore. It doesn't really make that much difference towards our growth. So at this point, we're going to keep developing, and we will put out news, but probably less often. Anyways, what are we going to do here? If we have an alternate title, here's the thing, though. In my result, we already have... Maybe not. I thought we had the alternate titles displayed. Or in here. Crap, I guess we don't. Result.game. Oh, okay. Yeah, we do. So, oh, we don't. What the? Result.game. Local DB search result. Local DB search result. What am I missing here? This is strange. Okay, so it is here. Yeah, obviously. Why is my immediate window not showing this? So we have the list of alternate titles in here already, which takes us farther. So, let's see. I'm going to say bool found equals false. If paths get title for comparing result to title equals paths get title to aimed at title, then found equals true. If not found, then we're going to continue. If not found, then we're going to loop through see, why is this being so weird? search result. I see. In theory, this should always be a local DB search result, but whatever. If not found and DB result is not equal to null. What is this problem? Use pattern matching? What the heck does that even mean? Anyways, DB result dot game dot alternate titles. Let's just say var alternate title if paths dot get title for comparing. You know what though? String comparing game title equals paths dot get title for comparing game dot title. Obviously the game isn't going to change, so we don't need to keep calculating that over and over again. If alternate title dot title except we need paths dot get title for comparing. What the heck are you doing? Alternate title dot title dot equals comparing game title found equals true. Now, this isn't necessarily going to solve the problem we've got because the title still doesn't match properly. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do there, but at least it'll work for the alternate titles if it is a correct match. Right now it's not even working there. So in theory, that should improve things at least. Place with single assignment. Oh, sure. I don't even know what that means. What did you just do? What the heck, man? This is ReSharper, and I don't have any idea what it's doing here, and I want to figure that out. I just don't. Oh, I see. It's not found in result is local DB search result DB result. Weird. I've never even seen that syntax before. That's a new thing for me. It must be a new C# language feature. Sure, why not? Interesting. I just upgraded to the latest version of ReSharper, which adds support for a lot of the new language features that weren't there before. So, cool. So in theory, This should make alternate titles actually work properly on the imports. However, and this is the get game method, so this should work for also is this going to work for metadata updates? I'm not sure, honestly. The problem is, though, that in this case, so when we do bulk imports, the titles have to match exactly. Not exactly, but minus the punctuation, minus the and the a and the and, they still need to match almost exactly, because if they don't, then we're going to have too many false positives. And we already have that problem with Windows games, or any platform where the population in the games database is fairly poor. We do have that problem. Obviously, Windows games are stupid hard to track because the platform's been around since the beginning of time, you know, since the late 80s. So you have, I don't know how many years, 30, 40 years of platform, and that's a lot of games. And then the data isn't populated that well for Windows games necessarily, for the older ones especially. So it's a nightmare, and so nothing we can do is going to make this perfect. So even with the examples given on the forums, since it doesn't match up perfectly, it's still not going to work with these changes. But this takes it a step closer, at least. I mean, it's just not going to be ideal no matter what we do, unfortunately. But if we had a alternate title at this point on here that matched just this, it would work. And maybe we do, I don't know. But it finds the special Pikachu edition, so apparently we don't. But that would be a separate game, actually. So this shouldn't necessarily match. Actually, it shouldn't, because this particular one is the special Pikachu edition, and the ROM that we were looking at is not necessarily the special Pikachu edition, because that was not in the title of the ROM. So in that case, this shouldn't be matched anyways. So I'm happy with this, I suppose. We can try the other example and see where that gets us. We'll walk through this and see what we get. We're going to go ahead and delete these. And we'll go ahead and reattach to that running process. Oh, that's not going to work, dummy. I've got to restart this and copy the exe over and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and rebuild first off. Catching up on comments here. Looks like I'm a good ways behind. That is true, Andre. Yeah, and I agree. I mean, we haven't done enough news lately. We are going to be doing some more news, but yes, that does make sense. Yeah, the twice is in there for a reason, Fonto. Yeah, I don't like the new YouTube layout. I'm still getting used to it. yes, the surprise is still happening, and I'm still working heavily on it. It will be coming. Probably, it's still going to be a while, but it'll probably be in the next month. I would expect. I'm hoping. So FYI on that. Yeah, I love as. Although this this is new to me, and result is type variable. That's interesting. The beard hasn't really been trimmed in a long time, but yes, I did cut my hair, Keltoy. I still have my hair in a plastic bag, Dave. So yes, I do plan on donating it, but I haven't done it yet. I hope it's enough. That's the thing, you know. I'm going bald, so who knows if it was even enough hair to donate. Windows needs a way to subdivide the platform. Yeah, I'm aware of that. However, it's really tricky because there's no good way to subdivide the Windows platform. You can't put games in. There's no way to subdivide it because some games worked all the way back in Windows 3.1 up until, you know, ME, and XP even. So I mean, and they always cover multiple platforms. There's no good way to split up the Windows platform. We've thought about that. I wish there was. There just really isn't. You can do Windows 3.1 and 95 plus, but that just doesn't seem to do justice to the issue. All Pokemon Yellow is the Pikachu edition. Okay, well that's good to know. Unfortunately, we still would need the alternate title added for that. The ROM wasn't named properly. Exactly, Camel. Yeah, that's the issue. No matter what we do, it's just not going to work. That's exactly right. It's not necessarily wrong, but we're not going to be able to fix this particular issue. And that's exactly right, Neil. That's the intention. That for alternate titles, that is the intention. Part of the intention. Medium cat. Length. Sure, I'm sure I'll get it donated here at some point. I need to figure out how to do it and stuff, you know. All right. So, anyways, this should, in theory, fix the alternate titles. At least as good as they work, as good as the matching works for anything else. But I need to test it out. So let's go ahead and do that. I need to go. We did do a build. Let's go grab the updated stuff, put it in my new folder. Give it a run and attach to it. Now I'm going to go ahead and drag over I'm just going to do one for now, because we've already tested the other one, and that's not going to really work. ROM files. Game Boy. Finish. Okay. Now, my results, we do have a single result. And it's matching Pokemon Blue version, makes sense. The alternate titles, we have 6 of them. Okay, so this is that. That is not going to match the actual title we have, which is that, which is not even spelled correctly, according to this. So heck, that's not going to match either. But we're getting closer at least. It's going through all 6 of them, and none of them are going to match. As this is what we get, this Pokemon Blue, whatever, is what we get for the comparing game title, and we're comparing everything to that. So we're, basically, it's looking for removing all punctuation, looking for the words Pokemon Blau, and it's not going to find it. So another fail, but at least it is doing it now. Searching the alternate titles. So for those games that aren't found, you just got to go in and manually, right now, search and manually map it up. So that works. But we don't want false matches. And so if we're not positive, we can't do it. It's just not going to work to do it. So anyways, that's that. It does automatically select Germany for the region and puts D in the version. I know some people wanted to be able to make this the actual German title. That's another thing we could do. But I'm not doing that yet. Anyways, that's going to have to be good enough for now. I want to check, though, the metadata wizard. Where is it? That's the ROM import. Come on, there it is. This is the DOS import. This is the Steam import. And this is the Windows import. So unfortunately, that won't fix it for the update metadata wizard. So we've got to find that first. And fix it there as well, or at least check on it there and see what it's doing. So we're not done yet. Here we are. Where's it doing the search? Download metadata and images is what it's doing, it looks like. Yeah, okay. So this is the same kind of thing here. We have the exact same stuff going on. So we're going to go back to this. Why not? Where was that? I was in get game. Duh. Go back to that method. You go down, down, down. I'm going to go ahead and copy, starting here, that whole block. Back, 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 back. Here we are. Okay. We have equals and contains in this case. Well, look at that. Why am I not doing that in imports? That would improve things. Although, it still wouldn't solve the particular problem or the problems that we're dealing with. But anyways, all right, so we get our results. If results.count greater than 0. We get our comparing game title. Bool found. Result.title, comparing game title. Not found. DB results. Title, we go through this found. Yeah. Result equals. Oh, apparently. This is supposed to be the game. That's fine. That's easy enough to just do result.game. Except. Well, we already have well, we don't have it there though. Or maybe we do, I don't know. Nah, let's just do that, whatever. Okay, then the other thing is down here we were checking to see if it contains it as well. Why I'm doing that differently here than I'm doing elsewhere, I don't know, but we should probably do that both places. Okay, so we're going to do if result to use equals null. Then I'm going to copy this block ultimately. I'm going to cut some stuff out. Obviously, we don't need that. We've already tried that. Actually, we do need that. We need it to be contains instead of equals. And then this one needs to be contains as well. And we can cut out these blocks. And in theory, that'll do it for us. I'm happy with that, I think. However, somebody's calling me. I don't know. I don't know who that is. So I'm going to copy this block, and we're going to want to do something similar on the imports because it really should be the same process. So I need a get game method. Get game. Oh, we do have it. It is down here. I didn't notice that before, and we didn't replace it with the new stuff. So there we are. Now we are. And instead of this, it's the only difference. We check for contains. So contains works in one direction, but we can't make it work in both directions, because we'll get false positives. But we can check to see if, I mean, I don't know. The contains thing could be a result of false positives either way. So I don't know. Maybe we should take that out for all I know. But we're farther. So in theory, that should do it for the alternate title stuff. Let me catch up on comments here. Would it help to divide up the Windows games category by x86 and x64? Probably not, because most video games, even coming out today, a lot of video games, I don't know about even coming out today, but for only until extremely recently were games primarily 64-bit. I mean, even Crysis, I mean, when Crysis came out, now that's old now, I realize that, but when Crysis came out, it came with 32-bit and 64-bit versions. So I don't know. So then you got games that come out with both. That's probably not going to help, unfortunately. They didn't take neon green hair. That's hilarious. All those screensavers. Oh, yeah. Good point, Neil, about Minecraft, yeah. Those thrift store retro PCs are getting harder and harder to find. Really hard to find these days. Oh yeah, I've got, you guys probably can't see, but one of my hobbies is obviously old PCs, but I'm just gonna look at my camera here to see you guys, you can see anything. Probably not. There's my CRT that I've got set up, and I actually have two machines over there. One is let's see if I can move my chair out of the way. You can't see anything, oh well. But one is a Pentium 75 that I eBayed and worked on extensively to make it ideal for the majority of old DOS games from my era. You know, the 90s mostly. Most of my I was 6 in 1990, so most of my childhood gaming experience was on DOS from 1990 on up, 90 through 97, and then Windows 3.1 of course, and 95, 98. So I've got two machines over there. One is a Pentium 75, and actually it's close to the 486 I had when I was a younger kid, but I had several 486s actually. I had two different, actually only two, I think, two different 486s, and so it's close to that, but it's not quite there. I have a couple other 486s, but they're not in good cases that will allow me to put stuff in them. But anyways, I've got 16 gigs on MS-DOS across two hard drives in my Pentium machine with 24 megs of RAM, running DOS and Windows 3.1 with all the drivers and everything, and got a bunch of games installed on there, and I've been having a blast with that. Of course, running LaunchBox for MS-DOS. And then the other black machine next to it is a machine I actually built from scratch. It's a Pentium 3 machine running Windows 98 second edition that I use for the Windows 95, 98 games. So yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, drivers are an issue for these old machines. It's not easy. There are do I use uppercase? I'm not sure. I can't remember. One of the two methods, either lowercase or uppercase, one of them is culture safe and the other one is not. Hey Monkus, yes, my hair is gone. Stimulus. Why is the visor on your baseball cap so flat? 7.11 is hopefully something coming soon, yes. I'm hoping to get it out soon because we kind of need it out soon. Yeah, I would love to have a 286. The other machine, the machine I started off on, the very first one was in 8086, I believe. I don't think it was an 8088. I think it was an 8086. So one of the very first IBM PC compatible machines. It was actually made by Packard Bell, believe it or not, but so it was not an authentic IBM. But it was very early on, and had 640 kilobytes of RAM, so no extended or expanded memory at all, no high memory even, and it had a CGA monitor on it, so you had 4 colors on the screen at a time, 16 colors total. So yeah, I had a 30 megabyte hard drive in it, and of course the big 5 1/4 inch floppy drives. So My nostalgia goes back a lot farther than what I have right now. I'd love to have one of those old 8086 machines, but they're a lot harder to find than like a 486. So, and that was, I was only on that machine for like a year, but I still got a lot of nostalgia for it because that was what I beat on as a little kid, you know. So, anyways, is there a way to boot Windows directly to Big Box? Yes, there is. You should be able to find a solution to that on the forums, Jay. There's several solutions, several different ways to do it. Yeah, a good picture CRT. Believe it or not, this was like a miracle. This Dell CRT over here that I've got, I managed to, I don't know how I got it so cheap, to be honest. But it was brand new, old stock. It's a Dell 17-inch CRT, so I'm sure it's. I mean, it's good. It's a good CRT. It's probably not the best in the world, but it's good for me. I would prefer to have a 19-inch instead of a 17-inch, but they're huge and hard to ship. But I got this for $50 plus $50 shipping, brand new, off of eBay. They may still be up there because that was relatively recently. So. You can still get CRTs off of eBay. The problem is the shipping is horribly expensive because they're CRTs. But it's that, as far as I was concerned, $100 for total for a brand new CRT monitor and a decent one at that. That was a steal. So I mean, I was happy with that. Voodoo 3, yes, I have right now. I have a Voodoo 3 2000, which is the exact same card I had as a kid in my Pentium 2 machine, actually my Cyrix machine. I worked all summer, saved up $125 when I was a teen, and bought myself a shiny new Voodoo 3 2000 card for my Cyrix Pentium 2 clone. And that had me gaming for several years on that card. So yeah, the Voodoo 3, man, absolutely. Yeah, and I have a Sound Blaster Live in my 9598 machine, and the classic Sound Blaster Pro 2.0, authentic Sound Blaster Pro 2.0 in my old MS-DOS machine, and that thing sounds amazing. I love that. I love that card. Actually, I have a ton of Sound Blaster cards, though. It's ridiculous. Because I had to try them all out, you know. It's and they're cheap. They're not expensive. 8086 is better than an 8088. I honestly don't know the significant differences there. I need to look that up, Pac-Man. I did have an IBM. I had an IBM PS2, Neil. That was my second machine that I had in my room for myself. All my machines were hand-me-downs from my father, the ones I had in my room, and they were always way behind because whenever he upgraded, I got his old machine. Ultimately, until finally, my dad one Christmas morning got me and my brother brand new machines, and they were very cheap machines, but they did just fine. They were Cyrix clones that he got for, you know, $300 a piece, and they were, which was at the time a steal. But that just made my year at that point in my life. So, anyways. Nice. Still have 4 Trinitron 21-inch CRTs out back. That's amazing. That's just freaking amazing. I would love to have one of those, Camel. But shipping them is just a nightmare. But those things, if you look on eBay at what the cost of those things are running, it's absolutely absurd. The Sony Trinitrons, it's just stupid how expensive those are online. I don't want to. I think they're like $1,000. Yeah, and you know what's funny? At one point, I took home 4 19-inch CRTs from my old business that I just got for free. And they were Dell, so they were good quality. But man, I stupidly, like 5 years ago, I ended up tossing them when we moved. Stupid idea. So the original box to my original compact computer, 486SX. Oh, I am jealous of that. Holy crap, I would love to have that. That's amazing. That's awesome, Killtoy. Take it easy, Dave. All right. So where are we at? I just supposedly fixed this stuff. I should probably do some more testing, but testing on this stuff is a pain in the butt. So now we're down to updating VLC. We got about an hour left. Updating VLC and the VLC video playback bugs. Now, replicating those VLC video playback bugs is going to be a nightmare. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some testing on some lower-end machines. You can't really do anything about that right now. But we can get VLC updated. But first off, I got to go pee. So I'll be right back, guys. All right. That's awesome, Neo. For some reason it looks like VLC randomly misses a major frame in the video or something. What? What do you mean by that, Neil? That's what makes it go gray and wibbly. That's caused by your hard drive not being able to keep up with loading the video. That's when that happens in VLC. It's a performance issue ultimately. You probably know that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I get what you're saying on that. Now, whoops. Have you ever had to use a degosser or just a little internal screws to fix a CRT picture? Yes. Well, nowadays, most modern CRTs, yeah, he had a degauss button on the monitor, but, you know. Yes, coffee will do that. Trout. That's cool, Camel. All right. So, updating VLC. That's not an interesting thing to do on stream, really, guys. I need to do it, but I don't know that I want to do that on stream. So anyways, what could we do? gonna check out performance here a little bit. I haven't played with this since I changed back to the 4.6.2 framework, and I need to try it on my arcade cabinet downstairs as well. But I'm curious. What did I set my... No options is what I'm doing. Keyboard mappings. Spin wheel while pressed is apparently V, and start attract mode is C. That's what I was looking for. Let's go into... I don't want GameCube. That's fine. N64.
The point guard passes. He passes. Impossible defense.
So most of the performance increases are just in the overall smoothness of the transitions and stuff. The one thing that, I mean, the improvements really should cover any inside the game's views, inside the platform's views, the transitions when switching between games or platforms. It doesn't really, the changes I made won't really have much effect on the transition when switching views, which still could use some improvement. I mean, backing out here, that isn't exactly smooth. It could be smoother. So those could still use a little bit of work. But previously, I was really happy, before, at least with .NET 4.7, I was really happy with the transition when switching between games, because it seemed like it was always smooth, which is good. It's what we're looking for. And from what I can tell on this machine, is it seems to be that's still the case. If we switch to different view here, the transitions are still nice and smooth, which is good. There's a tiny little hiccup there, maybe. And then, of course, as well, if we get to cover flow has been just dramatically improved performance-wise, because I I added some specific improvements there. And the other thing with cover flow is it's not slowed down nearly as much now when images are populating in the background. So, I mean, there's a bunch of improvements along those lines. But really, the main thing I was looking at, and then, of course, we have the issue where they're overlapping in this view, which I'm not happy with. I still need to do something with this view before the official release. I wanted to wait until we had the new 3D modeling engine, the 3D engine in here for this, but I don't know if that's going to happen, so I might just need to do something with it. Or, I mean, I could release it as is. It's not a problem, really, to release it as is. It's just not ideal. And also, if you notice, with the latest changes I've made, selecting everything, it's more rapid. Things show up on the screen more rapidly. You're not waiting as long for the video and the image to load as you were previously. So that's just a little bit of the details on some of the performance increases I've made recently. I'm happy to see that it seems like the performance increases are still here for the most part, even though we did downgrade to 4.6.2. They're still maintaining, so that's good. That makes me happy. Although I need to check on the other machines. This is a good game. I love this game. Although I play it on PC, I don't play it on Nintendo 64, but, you know, it looks better on PC. This looks horrible compared to the PC version, honestly. Anyways. One that is not a lie. Would it be possible to add some more options to Marquee? Just something as simple as setting it to display backgrounds or gameplay media would be great. Agreed. Yes, we will get to that at some point here. Yeah, Trout, all you got to do is degauss your CRT. Most likely that's what's going on there. Although not necessarily. I mean, it could be burn-in. It could be that your CRT needs degaussed. I don't know how you say it. But you should try degaussing it first. Oh, did I mess up the stream title? Whoops. Yeah. Neil, check that out with the latest beta. See if you get that anymore. Reverting the .NET totally made it worse, though. Can you explain that, Camel? Tell me what you mean. Where is it worse? Because I need to make a decision whether to use 4.7 or 4.6.2 on the official release. For some reason, entering a platform category takes a long time for you the first time. Huh. No, I did not say the 3D engine might not happen. Nope. It's still happening. It's just not, it's not here yet. Hitch when a game is selected. Well, I don't know what to do about that. I guess I need to go back on the code and see if there's anything I'm missing. And I don't know. And I'll test it on older machines, and I'll take a look at the changes with 4.6.2. Yeah, loading the video should in theory be a background task. Left and right navigation of the big box options. Yeah, I get you there. That wouldn't be a bad idea to do. Doom 64EX PC port homebrew. Why would you port Doom 64 to the PC? That's interesting. Oh, is that Doom 3? Every single time you select a game with a video. Interesting. Last beta seemed more peppy. Okay. Huh. Would videos be possible on Marquee? Yes, videos are possible on Marquee. And actually, if you make all you got to do is make a theme to do it, and it should just work in theory. Running 2 videos at once be too taxing on performance. Well, we already run 2 videos at once with the background and the video here. Does it tax performance? Yes, it is more. It is more of a performance issue. It requires more performance when you do that. Or if you're going to run 3 videos, yes, it's going to require more performance. Okay, well that's good to know, Camel. So I'm torn between going back to 4.7, which is still a possibility, and staying on 4.6.2. I don't know. You also thought performance took a tiny hit. Okay. And that makes sense. I mean,
performance is proven to be better in general with WPF on .NET 4.7. So when we go back, we are probably going to see a performance hit. There's absolutely nothing I can do about that. So we either have to deal with the minor performance hit of 4.6.2 for a little while longer, or we got to deal with lots of users having issues, potential issues with .NET 4.7. For the people it's working for, it's wonderful. But I've had something like 10 different people since we came out with the 4.7 requiring versions have issues that we don't know how to fix with 4.7. And if there's 10 people having these issues with the betas, there's going to be hundreds of people having these issues with the official release. So that's why I reverted for now. I don't have an SSD on a lot of my machines, Neil, that I test on. So really that shouldn't be an issue. Doom 64 is unique content. Why not port it to the PC? I didn't know it was unique. Unique content. I thought it was just a clone. I haven't played Doom 64. I've just... Why? I mean, I play the heck out of it on PC, you know what I mean? I didn't realize it was a different game, ultimately. Ah, neat. Yeah, that's hilarious. What is failing? It's complicated. Basically, you have crashes, you have issues getting it installed. Yeah, stop that. Stability issues, things where the dumb thing just refuses to install if you're too far behind in updates, and various issues like that, most of which can be relatively easily solved. But then you run into the situation where I've seen several error messages that suggest that .NET is completely corrupted and just won't work. Or the 4.7 version is. And in that case, I don't have any way of fixing that. How do I fix that? I can tell the user to try reinstalling .NET, but that's a disaster, and there's no way I can help people go through that process, really. So the other thing is we will be upgrading to 4.7, no question. It's just a matter of, do we do it now or do we do it in 2 months? You know, no, it's not an OS issue at all because we only support Windows 7 Plus at this point. We don't even support Vista anymore. It doesn't work. It just straight up doesn't work. It's yeah, and Windows 7 does support the .NET Framework 4.7, but you have to manually install it. But the setup is supposed to do that for you. But in the case, I've seen situations where people have an install of Windows 7 that's way the freak out of date. Like, doesn't even have the latest service pack and all this stuff because it's not connected to the internet. And they try and run the setup, and it tries to install the .NET Framework, and it just says, nope, not going to work, you know. So it only works on Windows 7 if you have the latest service pack. And there's probably more updates that you got to have as well. So anyways, but that's good to know that we are seeing performance degradation going back down to .NET 4.6.2. What I might do is for the official release, keep it on 4.6.2, and then immediately after we put out the official release, put out another beta that has it on 4.7. So for the people that know and notice, they can update to the beta and be back on the 4.7 framework. But otherwise, people will be on 4.6.2. Is the beta users are the only ones, are the people that have noticed the performance improvements anyways, you know. So for the regular users, they're going to see huge performance increases as is on 4.6.2. So I'm thinking that's probably the best route. Shortly after we put out the official release, we go back to 4.7 in a beta. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best and safest solution. And if we feel like we're not ready with the next official release after this one, if we feel like we're not ready to release it to the wild with 4.7, we can do the same thing again if we have to, you know. So that's probably a good approach, I'm guessing. So everybody on the stream, I'm going to ask this again because we've got a lot more people on the stream now. Has, of the people using the beta versions, the latest beta, either beta 14 or beta 15, has anyone seen any issues with videos? I'm not talking about performance issues. I'm talking about videos not working. I'm talking about issues with, well, let me pull up the thread. This guy right here. So this guy has reported this twice in the betas. He says it loads most videos but crashes on a third of them in the first second of playback. When going up, down, and selecting the game again, the movie plays fine in the background. Never had this with previous versions. I'm clueless as to why that would be happening, other than the performance improvements I did, which shouldn't really be affecting the videos, but I guess it's possible that they would. You are, Luke. Okay. Can you explain that, Luke? Some video snaps do not play at all, but some do. Interesting. Are you on VLC or Windows Media Player, Luke? And what's your hardware? VLC latest beta. Sure. What? Thank you. What's your hardware though? Windows 10 Core i5, GTX 970. So obviously, you should be perfectly fine there. Interesting though. So you're saying if you go back to 7.10. You don't have these issues, but these issues were introduced with 7.11, correct? This is to Luke. Because if... Okay, this means apparently we do have some issues I need to look into. I wish I could replicate them, that's the problem. And this stuff is a freaking nightmare to fix. But it's the performance stuff. It has to be. That's the only thing that changed that could be affecting it. Sure. But it was working for you before this happened. Yeah, if you can try it again, I would appreciate that. It should be safe to downgrade to 710 and then just upgrade again whenever you're done. If you're willing, that would be awesome. I need to figure out when it first started happening. Yeah, I'm aware of that issue, Omen Boy, and that issue is unrelated. Sure, thank you, Luke. If you wanted to go like crazy and help me out tremendously and work your butt off in order to figure it out, what you could do, well, you know, you don't even have access to all the betas, so you can't just upgrade betas one by one. There's no good way to do that. Yeah. Because you don't have access to previous betas. So, but yeah, that'll be a big help. If you can confirm it works fine in 7.10 and doesn't work in the 7.11 betas. You're just saying some of the videos just don't play. And you're not, I assume you're not getting any crashes or error messages or anything. It's just the videos don't play, ultimately, I assume. Hey, K-Money. Yeah, I'm aware of that issue. No, I haven't looked at that recently, unfortunately. Because the videos don't play, sure. Yeah, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. The issue with that is because images are in use. It just doesn't want to play some of them. A lot of the videos issues be theme based. You know, it's possible. That is a good point. For people running into these issues. So Luke, what is your theme? No worries, Neil. We didn't really go into much on that. Well, what theme are you using, Luke? And then another thing to test is to see if it happens in the default theme. Okay, you're using Critical Zone, sure. Oh, Critical Zone V2. Which is known to have some video issues, potentially. But I think that might only be the background videos. Interesting. Try the default theme and still see if you still have the same problem. If you can, Luke. I know I'm sending you through a bunch of hoops, but I appreciate your help. Is that that might explain it, actually. But if we're but Nadell here is saying that if he downgrades to 7.10, the issue goes away. So it's probably not the theme, I'm guessing. Huh. Yeah, Critical Zone V2 does have still some issues. I haven't, as far as the background videos, and it has to do with the random or the changing background video stuff, and I believe they're working on that. Yeah, there'll be a future update on that. The no, it's well, I mean, it's possible still the theme, and I'm missing something, but you ran, yeah, it has the exact same issue, which is funny. Yep. That's a performance issue somehow, Neil. Thank you, Robert. That's great to hear. The actual gameplay videos on one particular game view with VLC. Nice. That's awesome, Turbo. Solving this is obviously going to be my biggest priority now. And it's going to make me want to hang myself, to be honest, because it's not going to be fun to solve. But the first order of business is going to be trying to replicate it. I'm going to have to be able to replicate it in order to fix it. So Sharko just confirmed that the issues he had are gone now in the latest version. He'll wrap up the 2.1 release later today, which should fix all the known background issues. Nice. Maybe when you update VLC, it will solve the issues. I very much doubt it. That would be nice. I'm going to try it, but I very much doubt it. Because these issues were introduced recently. Everything was working perfect in 7.10. So, yeah, you can install another copy, McTurbo. Just install to a different folder. No, it's not a full crash. It's just the videos don't play is the issue we're dealing with. And it's not a graphics driver crash. It's just that it's missing a keyframe and corrupting the video because it can't keep up. Yeah, it's a needle in a haystack solving these video issues. You know, we've been through hell in the past with the VLC engine stuff for similar issues. Ultimately, these are all threading issues. More like thread timing issues, weird stuff like that. The transitions and getting the videos to go in, it's messy. But yeah, that's odd. I don't know, Neil. I really don't know. That's a VLC thing though, so there's not a lot we can. There's literally nothing we can do about that. To fix the gray stuff, I don't know how to. Do I loop via VLC? I'd have to look it up, Neil. I'm not sure. I use the best method available, but I don't know exactly. I think I am going to go ahead and end the stream. My video issues still exist in the default theme. Good to know. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream so that I can test on some older machines and try and get this video stuff figured out. I'm glad that we did find somebody else who has the same issue so that at least I know that it's not just some kind of stupid fluke on some random person's machine. But No worries, Nilk. Yeah, I'm honestly, guys, I'm really not happy to hear about these video issues because it's going to be a nasty mess. But I'll do my best. And I can't put out an official release until we get this fixed. So, and I'm not reverting the performance increases that I made. No way. I'm not going back. So, we're going to have to figure out what the heck the problem is. But anyways, thanks, guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Tuesday. That's the plan anyways. But depending on what I'm working on, I may or may not be on Tuesday, but I'm hoping to be on Tuesday. I'm sure either Tuesday or Thursday next week, or both. I will definitely be here. So thank you all very much. And I'll keep my chin up as best I can and try and get this issue solved. But we'll get it. We'll get through it. Have a good one, guys. Thanks, everybody, and I'll talk to you all soon.